Tonight, it will be Wartburg College taking on Missouri University of Science and Technology, shortened to MST, because that is just simply easier. Yes, it is week number 3 of NECC play for Rocket League. Let's see if Missouri S&T fits in the overlay, or if at least it works. We've got everything all set and ready for tonight's games. Take a quick look at what the standings look like. Let's pull the MVEC. It's the wrong thing. Coinciding with this, by the way, kicking off at 7:30 was Marvel Rivals as they take on Texas A&M Black. MST currently sit at 2-0. Wartburg 1-1. Top 4 teams make it to playoffs in the NECC. Wartburg currently sit in 3rd place behind, with MST in 1st, having yet to drop a game. Their first was against Wayne State, which they swept. And their second was against Illinois Technical Institute. I think ITE is what normally. I don't actually know. Oh, Illinois Institute of Technology. That's what it's called. Wartburg thus far, in their 2 games played, their first was up against Illinois Urbana-Champaign, their white team. It always feels weird to say that, but I know it's just the color of the squad. Like, okay, never mind. They lost that one, and then they beat NIU, Northern Illinois University. I'm going to stop digging a hole with me saying what I was. It's 8:30 now, so we should be getting into the game soon. I will tell you as soon as I learn what the scores were for Marvel Rivals. Make sure that is stated. As we're getting into the game. We'll wait for it. Still waiting on it. This is my favorite part. The waiting game is always the best part of everything. Hope everyone's day has been going well so far. This is actually it's kind of crazy that this is the first stream of the week. Surprising that there hasn't been anything yet. Granted, MVEC for Rocket League on a bye, so that makes sense. Then, of course, with this, the Marvel Rivals game also getting shifted over. Doesn't exactly help it. As we wait just a bit longer. Man, waiting game really is the worst part about doing this, because obviously I can't see anything. Just see if anything will go down. I'll turn on the music, figure out what's going on. Then I'll be right back for you folks. Here we go, folks. Game number 1 between. Sorry. There's no way I could say as Cry scores for Missouri S&T with an assist by DeBrickashaw Montgomery Ferguson. I guess no better time to go through which players are in this game. You see, for Wartburg, it's Electric Step, Lewis and Clark, and Apothic Dark. Electric Step with a save there on Ben, who is alongside of Cry, and DeBrickashaw Montgomery Ferguson. I'm just going to go with DeBrickashaw, which in and of itself is pretty good. That's such a long name tag. My goodness, I've never seen such a long name tag on a car. That's so crazy. Electric Step, as I try to gather my bearings, ties up this game, and a nice shot off of the wall. And it's tied up 1-1 under a minute past. DeBrickashaw with a nice flick off of the wall. Lewis and Clark is going to get there above the head. All right, it's the car of DeBrickashaw. Cries tend to get forward. Just a little bit. Lewis and Clark trying to go in for it. Ben not able to do anything. I think there was a demo. I couldn't see because the name was actually too long with the overlay. DeBrickashaw trying to go for a shot off target, though. Can't do anything with it. Ben trying to put it in center. DeBrickashaw can't center themselves. Cry tips it in off the post. It bounces back out. Cry flicks it back in. Lewis and Clark is there, though. Ben sends it in, and Apothic Dark able to send it away. DeBrickashaw chasing. Apothic Dark. Cry going to pitch that ball upwards. DeBrickashaw with the 100 boost off of the wall. Is not going to be able there to send it much forward, but Cry is off target. Electric Step to Lewis and Clark. That one is good, and I think a lot of that has to do with the bump by Electric Step there at the end. You'll see it here, I believe. That shot by Lewis and Clark, yeah, it does get in the way of Cry. And it's a great job getting in the way. Wartburg lead 2-1 with 3:09 to go. Ball over to that left corner. Electric Step is going to flick it forward. Cry is there, though. Nice pinch there. Apothic Dark trying to use the top of the car to bring that ball down. Can't. Lewis and Clark is going to have to reset. Cry is there, though. Electric Step sends it away to Brickashaw. Is not going to get there before Ben. 3-letter tags, and then Brickashaw, Montgomery, Ferguson. This is an interesting team lineup. Electric Step pops that ball up and is going to get to there before Cry. Ben is going to try to get a touch on it, but it's Electric Step who actually has it. Apothic Dark sends it forward. Cry tipping it up. The Brickashaw forward. Electric Step sends that ball away. Tipped up by Lewis and Clark. Cry into the corner. Now up on the wall. Tries to drop it off to Brickashaw. Gets a awkward bounce on it. Doesn't hit the collar properly. Lewis and Clark is going to be able to clear that out. Apothic Dark now with it along the wall. Is going to get stopped by the Brickashaw. I was actually going to send that ball center. A demo there by Apothic Dark is going to help Wartburg. It's going to be a little bit of a reset as Lewis and Clark does his best to move this ball forward. Nice pinch there by Electric Step. Cry able to send that one down. Lewis and Clark is there, though. The Brickashaw was making a turn for that one. Can't get there before it's sent away. Ben, though, keeping it on the offensive zone for MST. That ball, a perfect bounce off of the wall by Brickashaw into Cry. It's tied 2-2. A minute 32 left to go. Just a perfect soft touch. That's going in towards goal, or just a little bit off of it. Ben is going to have to make a move there still to send the ball away. Cry chasing. Lewis and Clark, good job on the flip back. Cry with control of it is going to center that. Lewis and Clark, though, able to send it away to Apothic Dark, who has the ball, gets met. Couldn't see who by who. I think it was Ben as that ball is hit forward. Now into the corner. Lewis and Clark with great control. The Brickashaw is going to get that touch, though. Apothic Dark in towards the net. Cry is going to cross it away. Lewis and Clark. Decent control midair. Off of that wall. Electric Step got there, but Ben was in the way. Apothic Dark sends it forward. Ben gets a touch on it. Demoed by... Or excuse me, Electric Step with a touch. Demoed by Ben. And the Brickashaw brings the ball in. MST now lead 3-2. As we get closer and closer to 30 seconds left. Electric Step sends that ball away. Brickashaw goes for a flick. Can't do anything on that one. Lewis and Clark trying to chase. Cry is going to get a touch to it first. Electric Step into the center. Brickashaw sends it up. And Wartburg trapped in the corner. They have to get this ball in at least towards the net. Electric Step going to keep it in the air. Doing a good job of it. You guys getting met, I believe, by Cry. Ball sent down. MST take game number 1. Look at the stats here. Not really many demos in this game, but more importantly, not too many shots. We're going to get straight into the next one. MST lead the series 1-0, and instantly a demo by Electric Step, who tries to put that ball in. A little bit off net. Lewis and Clark still able to get there no matter what. Ball tipped forward. A bit choppy on the stream side. Excuse that. Apothic Dark sends it in. Pop up Electric Step. Going to leave it for Lewis and Clark, who has that ball centered. DeBrickashaw is going to get there in time, though. Apothic Dark sends that ball forward. Tipped in by Ben. Ben now with the ball in air to DeBrickashaw. Electric Step was there. Can't get the save on it. There's a little bit of chaos in front of the net. Lewis and Clark going to run with it down that left side. Ben is there, but Lewis and Clark still maintaining the momentum. Cry is going to be the one to flick it away to Ben, who misses it in midair. That would have been an amazing goal. Electric Step sends it forward. Gets bumped by DeBrickashaw, trying to move the momentum away. Ben is there for a save. What that tonal was. Fry misses that ball. Electric Step, a good flick forward. Ben is there. DeBrickashaw is going to be able to hit that ball forward. Apothic Dark set it up perfectly as there's 3:25 left. Lewis and Clark along that wall. Sent down. Electric Step able to hit that ball from DeBrickashaw. Cry pops that ball straight up. It's Electric Step who's going to get there first. Ben in air is going to get to it right off of the hood of DeBrickashaw. Cry trying to send it forward. I think Lewis and Clark might have gotten a little bit of a touch on that one. A little bit of chaos now in the corner. As Cry is going to lift it up. Lewis and Clark sends that one away. We're almost halfway through game number 2. Cry, great job mid-air. Ben not able to do anything there. Apothic Dark sends it away. That ball coming down now. Hits the top of what would be the goal, and it does bounce in. That was covered nicely. If it was Electric Step who was there, just took an awkward bounce off of the goalpost. .22 left to go in game number 2. Missouri Institute of Science and Technology lead 1-0 in this game. And also 1-0 on the series. DeBrickashaw tip it forward. Electric Step is not going to be able to get that ball off cleanly. Ben into the side. Electric Step. Good touch there. He's doing a great job of dribbling. Has it in. Ben is there, though, from the top of the net. Saves it for MST. Apothic Dark sends that one up and in towards the goal. Ben with the carry alongside the top. Cry is going to get there. And that's in off the crossbar. DeBrickashaw, the one to put it away, but most of the work there came from Ben, came from Cry. DeBrickashaw was simply the one who could put the power behind it. Off of the crossbar and in. No Wartburg defenders near it. 1:31 left to go. Apothic Dark sends it up. This one in towards the net. No, nothing in it, though. Ben off that back wall. DeBrickashaw plays that one in. Lewis and Clark able to get there, though, in time. That one was headed straight towards the goalpost. Hit away. Wartburg still trailing with less than a minute to go. Cry. Cross the goal. Nothing in it for MST. DeBrickashaw up top. Apothic Dark can't get it. Does get a touch to it, excuse me. A nice flick on it. DeBrickashaw, though, gets met by Electric Step with 40 left in game number 2. Cry. A nice flick. Stopped by Electric Step. I think that would have bounced off the top anyways. Apothic Dark sending it forward. Does get met. Electric Step off that wall. 20 to go for Wartburg. Apothic Dark sends it away. And as there's under 10 seconds left and a goal scored, making it 3-0, MST will walk away with a 2-0 lead. They have yet to drop a single game in the NECC season. And with that, MST takes game number 2. Look at the stats, big thing there. Double the shots for MST. Only 3 demos in that game, which is rather surprising to me personally. We oft expect to see more. MST leading the series 2-0. Winning that game 3-0. Wartburg over 1,000 more boost gained. Clearly matters not. As we get into game number 3. Cry tips that ball up to Brickashaw. Great control on it. Can't do anything with it, though. Ben sends it up. Apothic Dark with a hit away. Cry with the send forward. Ben was set perfectly. Cry unable to get that pass to lead to a goal. As Lewis and Clark sends that ball forward, but Ben stops it midair. Nice control on it. Loses it, though. Off that front wheel, had too much top spin on it. Or at least it hit the top of the car. What I meant to say. Brickashaw sends that ball down. An electric step tries to clear it. Unable to. Ben off that top wall. Cry is not set yet. Does hit it off the crossbar. You could hear it. Electric step sends it away. Ben able to flip it right back into the MST offensive zone. Demo by Electric Step on Cry. Apothic Dark can't get that ball off cleanly. Brickashaw in the way, and it's going to flip once more across the halfway line. Cry is not going to get there in time. Electric Step with last touch on the ball off the sky. Lewis and Clark can get there in time, and what a great goal there by Wartburg. Great job capitalizing on what was a terrible situation for MST. Lewis and Clark couldn't put it in there. Electric Step didn't overcommit at all. Able to slot it away cleanly. 3:37 left to go in game number 3. Wartburg take their first lead of the series. Fry with great control on the ball. Can't do anything with it, though. Brickashaw in. And a little bit of chaos in towards the net. Brickashaw sends that ball up. The hit by who I believe was Apothic Dark or Electric Step. One of the two sent the ball away to Brickashaw. Wide open net in the top section. Apothic Dark went for the boost. It stayed up there. Wouldn't have been able to stop that ball. Tied 1-1. 3:12 left to go. Electric Step flying in for that ball. I mean that metaphorically, not literally this time. Lewis and Clark trying to get it off that back wall. Can't. Electric Step a shot for nothing. Try with the stop. Ben sends that ball forward. Electric Step tips it into the corner. Brickashaw is there. What a shot, Apothic Dark on such a tight angle. I did not even think that ball was going to go in. You see it here, right off that front left. Two MST players couldn't get there in time. They were both flipping the same way. That's part of the reason. And Wartburg take back the lead 2-1. About 2:35 left to go in game number 3. Wartburg still trailing on the series 2-0. It's a hard hit off of the wall of Electric Step. Cry is there in the perfect position. Over the top of the goal, though, that ball is going to bounce. DeBrickashaw not able to do anything with that. Electric Step sends it into the wall, trying to throw off the MST defense. Cry, I think, might have gotten that flip reset. Electric Step, not enough boost to reach that ball. Apothec Dark sends it in. It's going to be off that back wall and touches it too lightly. Car angle too shallow, excuse me. Electric Step can't put it away. Ben with a great save. And a flick, pinch in. Apothec Dark chasing it now. DeBrickashaw with a flip. And a nice touch there. Lewis and Clark going for a demo. Can't get it. That ball is going to drop. Nothing in it yet so far for MST. Ben is going to pop that ball up on the contact. Apothec Dark can't get a touch on it. DeBrickashaw puts it away. And Apothec Dark going for a flip. Could not stop his momentum in time. Tied once again. 1:24 left to go in game 3. That ball off to the left. Lewis and Clark and DeBrickashaw both chasing for it. Lewis and Clark is going to get the touch first, though. Cry not going to get there before Electric Step. Electric Step going for a demo there. Lewis and Clark now with the ball. Nice flip. Nice pinch off the wall. Electric Step able to reset that to himself. Now in the center. DeBrickashaw does get a touch to it. I think Apothec Dark might have as well. He did. Ben hits it center to DeBrickashaw, who misses the ball there. Cry gets a nice touch on it, but it's not enough. Ben with 100 boost now is going to pick it up and start his journey. And this one's in towards the goal. Gets stopped by Ben. I think Cry and Ben ran into each other. That's what stopped that goal from being scored. And DeBrickashaw just bullying one of the Wartburg Octanes. Apothec Dark, Flem sends it in. Good job by Ben getting in the way of Electric Step. Cry with the ball now. Lewis and Clark tips it forward. Now on the wall. Ben is going to get there. Not in time for Lewis and Clark to get the touchdown. That ball was centered, but DeBrickashaw got in the way before any Wartburg players could get there. And with about 5 to go, Wartburg keeping the offense heavy. To make it 3-2. And a hit there. Cry trying to chase that ball. Can't get there in time. It will hit the ground. We're going to go to overtime. A demo there on Apothec Dark, who I thought for certain had a hit on that ball, is going to spawn in right in front of it. It's going to go center. Straight to Cry. Lewis and Clark, though, gets a touch on it. Electric Step can't get there before DeBrickashaw. Ball center. Lewis and Clark is there to capitalize. 19 seconds in to overtime. Lewis and Clark puts that ball away. Ben did get a touch to it. Lewis and Clark just higher, though. Scores the goal that takes game number 3 for Wartburg. And MST drop their first game of the season. Wartburg, no saves in this one. 5 demos, though. That's a big one. All by Electric Step. That's kind of rather silly to see. He picked up the most demo in the most boost in the game. Makes sense for having the most demos. As we get ready to go to game number 4. They are go. That ball high in the air. Apothec Dark can't get there. Ben tips it forward. No one in net for Wartburg. Electric Step can get there in time, though. Just barely. He's now driving with it down that left side. Gets a perfect touch on it. That ball is centered. Lewis and Clark is there. Off the crossbar. That ball was perfect for Lewis and Clark, and he can't do anything with it. Another chance for him. DeBrickashaw is there, though. He's going to tip it up. One more chance. Lewis and Clark hits that ball down. That one is good. Three chances for Lewis and Clark, and finally he puts it away. And with 36 seconds gone, Wartburg take a lead again. Cry flying in, can't get there before Apothic Dark. Tips it up, Lewis and Clark is there, going to send it forward. Cry with a nice touch. Ben can't get there in time. Tip down, Electric Step tries to set it for Apothic Dark, who can't get there before the two MST players. DeBrickashaw with it now has a decent amount of boost to their name. Electric Step misses that ball. Apothic Dark is going to be the one to send it away. Electric Step with a nice touch on it. Sends that ball up. Apothic Dark, what a touch. What a shot on that one. Sends it in with speed. See him rise up. There's actually Lewis and Clark coming in as well. 2-0 to Wartburg. Up alongside the wall, nothing there. Electric Step hits it in. Cry is going to try to get control off of the ceiling. As MST trail 2. Lewis and Clark can't get to that ball before Ben. That went off the wall. Nothing though. Cry able to get an awkward touch though. Thought it was going to be a nice send in, but it was an awkward touch. Apothic Dark sends it in. DeBrickashaw is there in time. Ball now bouncing around in front of the MST goal. Nothing in it. Electric Step gets there after Ben. That's a good job on the touch to keep the ball in the offensive zone. Wartburg keeping the pressure on heavily. Lewis and Clark misses that ball, though, to Brickashaw with it. Electric Step is there. A good demo by Apothic Dark. Electric Step sends that ball in. Lewis and Clark can't get there because of Ben in the way. Light touch off the wall for Lewis and Clark. Electric Step that ball in towards the goal, just high above the crossbar. Lewis and Clark, that one off the crossbar directly. Electric Step hits it back. Essentially a perfect pass by Lewis and Clark just over the top of DeBrickashaw. Electric Step puts that ball in. .209 left. Wartburg lead 3-0. Apothic Dark in towards net. DeBrickashaw can't do anything. Wartburg lead 4-0. I'm not even sure what happened there on any part of that play. Wartburg lead only now is there 2 minutes left. Electric Step can't get a touch on that ball. Lewis and Clark is going to send it into the corner. As Wartburg looks set to give MST their second game loss. Cry misses that ball. Electric Step is going to get a nice touch over to the side. Ben sends it in. Lewis and Clark is there, though. Apothic Dark, a nice touch to Brickashaw, able to get a soft tap backwards. Lewis and Clark is there directly, though. Does get demoed by DeBrickashaw. Ben awaiting and pounces. Electric Step did get there, though. A nice pinch. Apothic Dark had decent control of that ball. Unable to do anything with it, though. Electric Step keeps it past on the front side of the halfway. Ben, though, sets it up to Cry. And MST get their first goal of game number 4. A minute left to go. Brickashaw sends that ball forward. Lewis and Clark sends it back. And they're just playing ping pong in the corner here. Except now that ball popped up. Ben is there. 2 Wartburg players go for it. Electric Step credited with the save. Apothic Dark is going to get the clearance. Also going to get the demo on Cry. That ball in. Lewis and Clark is going to get a touch to send it away. Cry not going to get there. Brickashaw calls for it and does get it. Apothic Dark taps it into the center. 2 MST players went for it. Neither of them could hit the ball center. Apothic Dark is going to walk this one in for a goal. Electric Step was going to steal it. Wartburg now lead at 5-1, and without a reasonable doubt, Wartburg will take game number 4 and tie the series up 2-2. Interesting game plan there by Wartburg. As MST are going to make this one last just a little bit longer. 2-5 now. And there it is. Game number 4 to Wartburg. Take a look at the stats. Double the shots Wartburg had over MST. A few of those were Lewis and Clark. You see he had 4 to his 1 goal. A few of those came off of the first goal, essentially, where he just couldn't seem to find the net. And we will get straight into game number 5. Series tied up 2-2. Cry going to send that one into the corner. Electric Step is there, though, to drag the ball along. Ben into the top left corner. Set perfectly. Apothic Dark just couldn't get there in time. And that was a pretty one. Lewis and Clark gets a nice touch. Brought in, Brickashaw is there. Ben is going to keep it close to the goal, though. Landed weirdly. Apothic Darks almost set that one perfectly for Brickashaw. Electric Step collides with the ball. Excuse me. Cry collides with the ball. Make that one a little awkward for Wartburg. Ben now chasing it down. Can't get a touch. No one can. Cry centers that ball in. Ben does get there. Does score it under a minute. MST have 2. So far in this series, in this match, the team that has scored first has won every time, as Lewis and Clark is going to send that ball away. Cry is there. Apothic Dark, able to get a touch there before to Brickashaw. Electric Step pops that one up. Cry in the way. Ben centered. Takes the shot and makes it. Not even much of a shot there, just a little redirect. What Cry had done. (3-0) in favor of MST. Wartburg can come back from this. It might be a little harder than they would want, though. Electric Step is going to make it a little easier, and great job there by Lewis and Clark to play that ball perfectly. Had a little bit of a touch there. It was by Cry. Electric Step, though, had the read on it. Put it in. It's now 3-1. Lewis and Clark gets the touch that sends it closer to the corner. Apothic Dark with a 100 boost now. Brickashaw, the last one standing for MST, gets in the way of that. Cry can't get there. Apothic Dark sends it away. Electric Step will be there. Cry is the one who hits into the corner, not Lewis and Clark, though. He will get a touch on it. The Brickashaw is there. Is going to send it into the corner once again. Apothic Dark, nice pinch that sends the ball down. Tried to read it off of Ben's car. Couldn't. The Brickashaw with a nice stall. Cry is there. Can't score it. Ben with a shot stopped by Lewis and Clark. Ball now into the corner, and Lewis and Clark chasing it into the offensive zone. The Brickashaw gets in the way. Sends it in towards the center of the goal. Cry able to get that one away, though. Ben now with a touch on it. Sends it forward. The Brickashaw is going to hit it in centered for MST. Can't do anything, though. Cry. That one's towards net. The Brickashaw had a touch on it. Apothic Dark sends it away. Now Apothic Dark with control of the ball. Ben meets him midair. Lewis and Clark. No one there. Cry was too deep in on the net to do anything. Wartburg trail only 3-2 now. 2:11 left to go. Ball up in the air. Apothic Dark. An awkward pinch with Ben. Brickashaw is going to save that one. Tried to keep control of it for MST. Apothic Dark sends it forward. The Brickashaw got there in time. Electric Step went for a bump, but the ball fell right to him. Lewis and Clark trying to do something to keep control. Ben off the back wall, sets it up. Cry a little awkwardly, can't do anything. Electric Step sends it forward. DeBrickashaw was there. Electric Step off the side of the post. Wartburg going to have to reset now. DeBrickashaw get a touch into the corner. Electric Step is there. Puts it in. Traced it down perfectly. And it didn't matter who else got the touch there. It is now tied 3-3. It was Cry who got there eventually. It was not going to matter. That ball was going in no matter what. .105 left. Electric Step sends it forward. Ball hit across. Cry sends it in. Apothic Dark tips it back. Ben off that sidewall. Electric Step is there. Excuse me. DeBrickashaw sends that ball up. Lewis and Clark can't really get a touch on it, and if he did, it was light. Electric Step able to send that ball away. Nice trail floating back. There's 30 to go. It's 3-3 in Game 5. Ben sends that ball in. Lewis and Clark can't do anything. So DeBrickashaw getting there defensively. Cry, nice job on saving his flip. Excuse me, their flip. Five seconds left. Electric Step sends it forward. It will touch the ground, though. That ball, if it was more centered, it would have been an easy goal for Wartburg. Cry, though, going to send it back. Electric Step is there. Into the corner the ball goes. Cry centering it to Brickishaw. Can't get there alone. It was Apothic Dark with him. Electric Step sends that ball. Lewis and Clark gets a touch that sends it forward. Cry is going to be under it. No need for even a flip. Gets control. Lewis and Clark and a light touch on that one. It's falling in towards the net. Ben with a touch on it. The Brickishaw is going to have to use boost to get to that ball. Electric Step sends it back in. Cry able to get the clearance into the back right corner of Wartburg. Ben tries to center that ball. Electric Step gets a touch on it before to Brickishaw. Now Apothic Dark chasing the ball. Cry gets it. Electric Step. Oh, just over the top right corner. Ben centers the ball. Electric Step is able to get there. Make sure nothing happens. Cry chasing it. So is Apothic Dark. Neither of them hit it. Cry does now on a flip. Off the wall. DeBrickishaw sends it in. Ben was a little bit of a dummy run. Apothic Dark did not fall for it. Once again, off that top left corner, excuse me. Apothic Dark sends that ball into Brickishaw in the way, not even counting as a shot. A minute 40 into overtime. Cry bounces that ball off. Electric Step chasing it down to Brickishaw is there, though. Apothic Dark in the corner. Ben gets a touch on it. DeBrickishaw has to turn around. Apothic Dark is still there. Lewis and Clark, excuse me. DeBrickishaw misses that touch. Cry does steal the 100 boost out from Lewis and Clark. Gets demoed, though. Electric Step trying to send the ball away to DeBrickishaw. Can't get there. Apothic Dark to Cry. With it now, Lewis and Clark gets a nice tip on the ball. Electric Step pops it up. Apothic Dark has to send it in off the wall. Sends it back to Cry. Lewis and Clark, though, there in time. Electric Step sends that ball forward. Ben can't get there. Apothic Dark had to went for the shot. Cry got the ball first, though. Apothic Dark still with it. Electric Step went for it. Cry. Apothic Dark uses Cry as a little bit of a bounce. Ben tries to center the ball. Apothic Dark trailing. Electric Step tries to do something. Apothic Dark and Lewis and Clark get a nice pitch on it. That ball is going to go across the field. Ben is there. Lewis and Clark couldn't get a touch. It's going to be a little bit of a reset now. Over 3 minutes into overtime. Electric Step sends that ball. DeBrickishaw, though, got to it. Lewis and Clark gets demoed. Apothic Dark going to meet DeBrickishaw. Make sure nothing happens. DeBrickishaw misses the ball. Electric Step with it now. Flicks it. Cry can't get to it. In the corner now. Excuse me, that was Ben. Cry gets the stop there. DeBrickishaw in the air. Lewis and Clark trying to keep it on the Wartburg offensive zone. As Cry with a flick off the wall. Straight to Electric Step. It's going to be Ben who reaches that ball. Lewis and Clark sends it forward to Brickishaw. Is going to get a touch on it. Puts it out of the way of Lewis and Clark. Apothic Dark gets a touch of DeBrickishaw and the ball. Everything in chaos. Cry gets demoed. Apothic Dark. By Apothic Dark. Ben with a chase on that ball. Nothing in it, though. Lewis and Clark keeps it in the corner to Brickishaw. High bounce. Apothic Dark sends it away. Ben off the wall. Electric Step sends it a little high. Nothing in it much, though. DeBrickishaw can't get a touch there. Ben off the side. Cry puts it off the post. Ben is there. Almost 5 minutes pass. But 4:28 into overtime. Finally ended off of a missed shot. A great recovery, though, by Ben. And MST take game number 5. 12-12 in terms of shots. And what was just an absolutely absurd game. My goodness. I had no clue how long that one would last for. There were so many opportunities for each team to end it. And off of a missed shot, a great job there by Ben to make sure nothing came of it. Put the ball in. Just to make sure that something did come of it. Put the ball in and ended game number 5. MST now lead the series 3-2. As we await the start of game 6. They are go. Electric Step hits the ball straight to Ben, who has it in towards goal. Apothic Dark is going to have to get there. It's a little bit left of goal, excuse me. Camera can lie. Electric Step. Try to send it in towards goal, maybe into the corner. Lost possession of the ball to Brickashaw. A great flick. Electric Step is there. What a save. Cry beats Apothic Dark in the air. Electric Step sends that ball forward, though. Apothic Dark can't get that before Ben. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. Cry. Great touch there. 2 demos for Wartburg. They've only got 1 to play. Against, that is. Not anymore. Both Cry and Ben spawn back in. Apothic Dark touch. Straight to Brickashaw. Electric Step shot. Met instantly once again by Brickashaw. Lewis and Clark went for it for a second there. Had nothing. Ben read what was going on. The Cry, Electric Step, excuse me, with a shot gets stopped by Brickashaw. That was a great job on staying where they needed to be from Brickashaw. Ball trail now. Demo on Brickashaw by Lewis and Clark. Electric Step with the ball. Brickashaw sends it away. Lewis and Clark gets an last touch on a weird pinch that sends the ball backwards for Wartburg. A little bit in towards goal for Wartburg. Cry gets that touch. Electric Step centers it. Apothic Dark is there. That's an awkward bounce to Brickashaw. Can't get there in time. Wartburg lead at 1-0. I don't even understand what happened with the physics there with Ben. Odd situation. But Wartburg take the first goal of game number 6. I'd actually count in my head how many there were. Brickashaw gets a touch, and don't forget, so far in every game in this match, the first team that scores has won it, and it seemed like Cry was going to tie it up there. Hits off of the crossbar. Bounces down, but away from the goal. Lewis and Clark trailing. Can't get there. Apothic Dark sends that one in center. Ben is there. Wasn't sure if anyone from MST would be able to get there in time. They can. Electric Step sends that ball in just a little bit slower to Brickashaw. Can't do anything with that touch. Great job by Ben, making sure that ball slips through Lewis and Clark. Electric Step stopped by Brickashaw. Apothic Dark straight to Ben. We'll see a repeat of what we just saw. But now it's Ben with it down the left side. A demo there onto Brickashaw. Ben is going to get the touch before Apothic Dark. Lewis and Clark now getting demoed. 2 minutes to go. Ben mid-air to Cry. To Brickashaw with a touch on Cry. Can't do anything. Lewis and Clark gets the ball down. Apothic Dark in air. Cry sends it away. A bump, touch of the bumpers. Ben perfectly there. Apothic Dark slots it away, though. Thought Ben had done everything that they needed to. But Apothic Dark, a great recovery. Turns it around straight away. Puts it in. Now Wartburg lead 2-0. Everyone missing the ball. Gonna roll towards the MST net. Nothing though. Everything bouncing everywhere. Electric step. Collides midair. Lewis and Clark shot. Trailed by Lewis and Clark. Hit by Apothic Dark. Nothing in it though. Wartburg still only have a 2-goal lead. They've got a minute left to defend it before we go to game number 7. Electric Step sends that ball forward. Electric Step with another touch on it. Ben is going to get up top. Cry with a nice touch. Lewis and Clark sends it back. Just a little bit cross the goal. Nothing there, though. Lewis and Clark 1-1 against the Brickishaw. Nothing. Cry a touch. Electric Step sends it forward. Ben is going to trail it. An interesting bounce there. DeBrickishaw now sending it forward. Lewis and Clark gets a touch. And it's going to go across. Apothic Dark is going to turn around in time. Off the wall with control. 15 to go. Too wide. And with 10 seconds left, unless on this drive they cannot. MST had to score there. Wartburg takes game number 6. Tied up 3-3 on the series. Once again, we'll take a look at the stats. 6 shots to 2. That's the big thing to see there. Well, Wartburg didn't get off as many as they might have wanted. MST certainly did not. Demo is also something you can look at there. That could be seen as pretty important. However, there were a few that didn't really lead to anything for the most part. As we head to game 7. Wartburg have played the best against MST that they have seen all season. Ben up along that top wall. Electric Step stops it. Apothic Dark centers the ball. Ben can't get a touch to it. Cry had a little bit of control. DeBrickishaw had nothing. Lewis and Clark trailing it. Nothing on that shot. Ben and Cry both there to stop it. Apothic Dark with a touch. Sending it forward. Great control. Tried to get the flip reset. Couldn't get it to Brickishaw in the way. That ball centered. Lewis and Clark going to go for it. Is going to get a touch, but Cry is there to get the follow-up. Electric Step. That ball centered. Cry. Nothing in it because of Lewis and Clark. Ball centered to Brickishaw. Off target. Ben gets it. A little touch on it. Sends it away. Cry is able to get there after Apothic Dark goes for a clearance. Ball popped up. Over a minute gone. No score. Electric Step sends that ball away. Ben is going to try to shove it back into the corner. In towards net. Cry was set. Apothic Dark got the player in time, though. DeBrickishaw doing a great job keeping the offensive momentum. Lewis and Clark is able to get there in time before anything can happen for MST. 3:30 left to go in Game 7. As Apothic Dark drops, unsure what the issue is. Lewis and Clark and Electric Step going to have to play as if nothing happened. A 3-on-2. Nothing in it yet, though. Apothic Dark is back after Lewis and Clark's save. Ben centers the ball. Tries to flip it in. Apothic Dark is there. 2 minutes gone, nothing in it yet. DeBrickashaw, that ball hit across. Cry sends it forward, electric step. Can't get there before Ben does. DeBrickashaw and Apothic Dark get to touch one after the other. Cry, that ball in. That ball is good. What a goal there. A flick over Apothic Dark. .240. MST have the lead. Lewis and Clark going in off the crossbar. No goal for Wartburg halfway through Game 7. Cry, going to try to make it 2. Was on target. Lewis and Clark there to stop it, though. DeBrickashaw to Ben. Nothing. Cry hits it in the corner. Electric step. Lewis and Clark, a good bounce off the car. Way off target, though. Lewis and Clark trying to get to flick the ball backwards. Or at least get a touch on a car of an MST defender. Electric step. Sends it across. Ben with a nice touch. Hit well away. DeBrickashaw off the wall. Cry scores it. 2-0 for MST, and Wartburg going well on the back foot. Apothic Dark sends that ball forward. DeBrickashaw tips that up. Cry and Electric Step get there near the same time. Apothic Dark, ball in the air. Ben and DeBrickashaw. I think Ben might have gotten a touch on that. DeBrickashaw with a bump on Cry. Lewis and Clark trying to center that ball off target. Gets a demo on Ben. MST are down a defender at least for a moment. Cry, a nice pop-up to DeBrickashaw with an even softer touch. Lewis and Clark trying to gets it away. Electric Step flips it back. Cry is there, though. Electric Step can't put it away. Under a minute to go for Wartburg, trailing 2. Ben sends it forward. Electric Step is going to rise to meet it. Ben puts it away. Cry back into the corner. Ben off that back wall. DeBrickashaw was there, but Electric Step was as well. 35 now for Wartburg as they still trail down 2. Apothic Dark gets a touch before Cry, so Cry sends that ball in. Electric Step with a demo. Apothic Dark with it alongside the wall. DeBrickashaw gets that demo. Cry has to get a touch there. Lewis and Clark gets demoed. And with 15 to go, it seems MST are untouchable in Game 7. And that will be it. Missouri University of Science and Technology will take game number 7 there. It officially is 2-0. The series 3-4-3. Wartburg couldn't get the win in terms of the overall, but put up the best fight that MST have seen all season. That will move. Send it back here. That will move Wartburg to a record of 1-2. MST currently sit 3-0. Thank you so much for tuning in to this broadcast of Wartburg College Esports. We really do appreciate it. Next matchup for the Knights will be in the MVEC. That will be on Monday. We'll check who they are up against. They will be playing Illinois College. So make sure you stay in tune for that. I think I heard from outside that Overwatch, my goodness, Marvel Rivals had won. So stay tuned to the socials to get an official post of that. Thank you, by the way, to NECC Esports for the raid. If anyone is still watching from that, appreciate it dearly. Next time on Monday, it'll be that. And the next NECC matchup for the Knights, we'll double check that real quick. Will be up against Illinois Institute of Technology. Thank you once again for tuning in. I've been Chris, the manager, the man who runs the streams. Have a great night, and go Knights.
Going up to the 16th floor, I just need a little more. Rocking out too low on shore, making that thing swing back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal corpse, making that thing swing back and forth. A little more. Keeping score. Back and forth. We're not keeping score. Making that thing swing back and forth.